Happy New Year, villagers. It is so good to see you again in another video here in Stacy's Random POV. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you decide to stay. And if it's not, hi, good to see you again. Now, I have to say that everything I'm about to say is absolutely, positively, definitively my opinion. And my opinion alone, I am not saying anything in this video to try to incite you or get you to do something that you don't want to do, okay? Or to piss you off. We're not doing that. Good. So this is what's going on, you guys. Check this out.
So from what we know at this point, about 3 or 4 hours ago, there was reportedly this vehicle, what has been described as a truck of some kind, that plowed through a crowd of people in New Orleans in the French Quarter district. As you were mentioning, this is a big area where there are bars, there are nightclubs, there are people milling about. This was New Year's Eve, or on the back end of New Year's Eve, early New Year's Day as this was happening. There are still some questions around all of this. Exactly why did this happen? What was the potential motive, if there was a motive to begin with? We are also hearing from some of our CBS reporters who were on the ground there that there was reportedly an exchange of gunfire between someone in that vehicle and law enforcement who were outside of the vehicle. We're hearing 30 injuries with this, 10 fatalities. At least those numbers could change over time as we get more information from law enforcement, but that part right there is still incredibly shocking.
So as you guys can see, this New Year celebration was amazing for some people, but for others, it was a night of nightmares. It was the worst of the worst that could ever happen. And what happened, as you guys can see in that clip, this gentleman shot Shamsuddin Jabbar. His name is Shamsuddin Jabbar, 42 years old, American. Not sure if it's in the army, not exactly sure. However, this gentleman, what we do know is that he was driving a white pickup truck, Ford F-150 electric, I believe, and he rammed it through a bunch of people, killing, now it's been updated, 14 people have died and a lot more injured. In the papers, I know it says it's only 10, but in reality, it's still updating. But the FBI is super sure that this is a terrorism attack, even though no one has claimed, no, not ISIS or any other terrorism community have claimed that they are behind this. Now, what is happening? What is happening is that at the moment, they are doing everything they can to connect the dots to see if he did this alone or if he's part of a terrorist organization, especially because they said that there was a black ISIS flag in his truck. Like, is ISIS still even a thing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but is that even a thing? I digress. However, one thing that can be certain is that a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people lost their family members, their loved one. And one thing I always tell you guys here, always love on your loved ones, because you never know when it's going to be the last time you're going to see them, when it's going to be the last time that they're going to walk through that door, and that will be it. So love on your loved ones and love yourself too. But according to CBS News, it says that this man intentionally drove this pickup truck into a crowd on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, French Quarters, early on New Year's Day, killing 15 and injuring dozens of others, officials said. The attack is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The FBI Special Agent Alethea Duncan said in a news conference earlier today, she said that black ISIS flag has been flying over the truck from the truck's rear bumper. So she's saying that this might be ISIS. And if it is, who is on ISIS? I'm confused. And I want to say this if I haven't said it already. I am so sorry for everyone who lost their lives. And I'm so sorry to their families, the ones that survived this also. And everyone, I know no one is going to be the same after this situation. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. This is just sad. Just for the lack of a better word, this tragedy will not be forgotten. And it gives me the same vibes as the guy who bombed the Boston Marathon. Still unclear whether or not this was part of ISIS. or if there's even a correlation, right? But I don't want to say. So more information regarding this investigation has made public by the FBI. Apparently, there were bombs planted around the square, and the detonator did not go off. It was faulty, so it was an unsuccessful mission. So it is believed that he is, in fact, working with a group of people. But back to the story. However, I do want to know, what do you guys think about this whole entire situation? Do you think that ISIS is behind this? Do you think that this may happen again in another city? What are your thoughts? I can't wait to get what you guys got to say. And with that already out of the way, you guys already know how I like to do things here. I will do my best to edit to make sure I don't show any bodies in the street, because just to let you guys know, this is extremely graphic. What I'm about to show you, it's extremely graphic. So I'll do my best to edit everything so that it doesn't show too much. And as you guys know, once you subscribe, you automatically become a member of this village. You love this village. You appreciate this village. Because, baby, it takes a village. I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye.
First of all, we do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation.
We had this event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could.
Are plowed into a crowd of people celebrating the new year. Police say it all happened just before 3:30 Central Time this morning. Witnesses told investigators someone drove into the crowd at a high rate of speed, then got out and started shooting. Witnesses at the scene say officers fired back at the driver. Investigators are still working to figure out who did this and what led up to this deadly shooting. According to police, at least 10 people are dead and more than 24 injured after a car.
Emergency officials say it happened overnight near Canal and Bourbon Street. You can see the scene right there. A lot of police activity overnight. We've been seeing ambulances, you see on your screen right there. Truly a frightening scene, as you can imagine. A number of New Year's revelers out and about on this New Year's Day early morning, and then waking up to this news. The latest that we have from the New Orleans Ready, their emergency alert system, is that their 8th district, they're working on a mass casualty event. That is how they have described it so far.
The police there say there may be multiple casualties, including deaths. This is amid reports a car ploughed into people on Bourbon Street. If you've ever been to New Orleans, you'll know that this area is hugely popular with tourists, and of course it is New Year, so a lot of tourists will have gone to New Orleans along with the local people. Now, it had been busy in the early hours of New Year's Day. You can see it's just after 5 o'clock in the morning, and a huge police presence. Now, our US partner, CBS, their local reporter there said that witnesses told her that a truck crashed into a crowd on the street at high speed, and then the driver got out and started firing a weapon, with police returning fire. Now, we can't confirm that at the moment. This is what witnesses have been telling CBS. The word from the New Orleans police spokesman said that initial reports show a car may have ploughed into a group of people. The injuries are unknown, but there are reported fatalities.
At least 10 are dead and 30 injured after a man in a pickup truck intentionally drove through a crowd enjoying New Year celebrations in New Orleans. Police say a man driving a pickup truck intentionally plowed through a crowd of revelers in the heart of the French Quarter. New Orleans law enforcement confirmed that the attack was intentional and the driver was trying to kill as many people as possible. The driver also fired shots at police, injuring two. A possible explosive device in the vehicle is being investigated. Authorities have not yet confirmed if the suspected explosive devices are dangerous. The attack comes just hours before New Orleans is set to host the Sugar Bowl, an annual college football game that draws fans from across the country. During a briefing, New Orleans police chief mentioned that this was a tragic event, but there is a lot to enjoy in New Orleans, and we want you to go about enjoying your day. Can we all just stop and understand the irony here? Someone massacres 10 people, and people are expected to just go out and enjoy their day. In initial statements, the mayor described the incident as a terrorist attack, but the FBI later clarified that this is not considered a terrorist event at this time. There are no additional details about the suspect, including whether they are in custody at this time. Residents are urged to avoid the 8 blocks around Bourbon Street until further notice. This is certainly not the story I thought I'd be bringing y'all on New Year's in my bedclothes. This is heartbreaking, a senseless massacre, and this is a developing story, and I will bring you more details as they come about.
A man has just taken a van and driven into people in New Orleans. 10 people have died. This is bang out a terrorist attack. From what we know, 10 people have been unalived in what we know now to be a terrorist attack. This man had rammed in his van into these people and then proceeded to hop out of the car and open fire. Police have said that this person has been hell-bent on completely causing carnage. The mayor, Latoya Cantrell, says that the whole city of New Orleans has been affected by this terrorist attack and has urged residents of New Orleans to avoid the areas. The suspect drove his truck down Bourbon Street at an extremely fast pace and was trying to run over as many people as he could. This is extremely scary times, guys. Again, this has been another incident of a man running over someone. There's one that's happened in London, there's now one that's happened in New York, there's one that happened on Christmas Day. I advise everyone to be extremely careful about any gatherings or social events. If you have any information about any of these crimes that are taking place, make sure you report it to the police, stand firm for justice, and please guys, be safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, we are learning a bit more about why a man drove his pickup truck into a crowd of people celebrating New Year in New Orleans, killing at least 10, dozens of others injured, and also how it might have been even worse. It was intentional, according to the police. He wanted to run over as many people as possible and cause carnage. He certainly did that, driving his car at a high speed towards a crowd, and then shooting as well. We know a couple of police officers were shot. They're thankfully in a stable condition. We'll have to wait to hear about all the other people in hospital. They're in several hospitals all over the city and in the area. The FBI, though, have also found some devices, and they were improvised explosive devices. They're investigating whether or not they were viable, whether or not they would work, but if they could have worked and were used, it's horrible to think, but this could have been even worse. We don't know the motive. It's too early to say. Police are looking into that. The FBI has actually taken over the investigation. But thoughts are with all the people who survived, all the people who died, all their loved ones. They just wanted to have a good time and bring in the new year.
As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're asking everyone to stay away from Bourbon Street, specifically from Canal Street to St. Anne. That is my ask. Once again, stay away from Bourbon Street, Canal Street, all the way to St. Anne until we can figure out what is going on. Our goal is to provide you additional information at the 11 a.m. press conference. Thank you so much, and we will be in touch. Yes.
Welcome to the first day of 2025. That was the special agent in charge of the New Orleans field office talking about the mass casualty event that happened there on the first day of the new year. At this time, according to the press conference, 10 people are confirmed dead and over 35 have been injured in what the mayor of New Orleans is calling a terrorist attack. According to the New Orleans Police Superintendent Anna Kirkpatrick, a man drove his truck into a crowd in the French Quarter intentionally at a high rate of speed. And also, when officers tried to stop him, he reportedly shot at officers, injuring 2 of them. Now, this incident happened just hours ahead of the Sugar Bowl game that is supposed to kick off at 7:45 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Superdome in New Orleans. There's another press conference scheduled at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time today where more information is supposed to be released, and any information regarding any changes to the scheduling or events surrounding the Sugar Bowl are also forthcoming. The special agent in charge also mentioned that an improvised explosive device had been found near the scene. So, as more information becomes available, I will be posting about it.